Hey, hey,
Just like
yeah,
that.
thanks.
Been waiting on this one.
I take a beam, I fuck up my face. Count down to 3, then blast out the space. Nigga been feeling real wavy today. Home field advantage, they loving debates. I'm in the huddle, I'm calling the
Y'all
play.
catch me
Jump out
vibing
the
out a
push to go
lot.
fuck up the game.
It's because I had a very interesting night last night.
Lockdown,
And it
nigga can't
trickled
catch that fade.
down
Who wants
to
smoke
today.
with big D banks? Serving nigga like a waiter with the hot
But
cakes.
real quick
Put a
though,
nigga in the
man.
blender, watch
Bomb
what
Body
I make.
Connections, I
Might pull a
see
whole
you.
thing out of
Likewise,
suitcase.
or
Mr.
like
Double up, so I need 2 things. Then count the cash up with my little boo thing. And I'm back on the court cause I'm
Wiseman
the sport. And the
Security, I
hands off the
see
porch
you.
and the nigga got the
SCA
torch.
Cleaning
Nigga hella
Services,
crispy,
I
I just
see
hopped
you.
out the oven.
All
In
Things
rotation, so I'm
805,
getting
I
into
see
something.
you.
They so mad
Hanging
that
out
a
with
young
the
nigga
Carters,
buzzing.
I
I'm
see
that
you.
nigga, it ain't nothing for
CTC
discussion.
Radio,
Fuck
I
how you
see
feel,
you.
that's just the real.
That's how I'm
Niggas
gonna
is
do my
funny, like
sponsorships from
Jordan
now
Peele. They
on
don't keep
because
it a buck,
that
and I
shit
don't
get
give a fuck. I
long-winded
go get
and
a
there's
bag, then I
more
run that
and
bitch
more
up.
that keep being required.
10 toes down.
And I'm not complaining about it.
Spinning your block, windows
We actually
down.
got one of the sponsors in the
Niggas talk
building.
shit till I come
Done
around.
a music
Then
video
they get
together.
quiet, ain't no sound.
Done a couple media days together.
You gon' go down in history as one
We've
of the
done
boss fight
an
do up and that
event
shit gon' be
for
said.
the
You
youth
gon' have to go
and
and
the
tell your
younger
kids they're
kids.
dead.
That was
Took
cool.
an L and went out like a bitch in the head. The future too bright for me to live in the past. God ain't
Y'all
gon' bless
seen
your
him
ass for nothing
before
if you shit on
a
your
million
ass.
times.
The future too bright for me to live
Damn
in the
near
past.
needs
God ain't
no
gon' bless your ass for
introduction
nothing.
because nobody else
For
is
all
like
my
him.
dogs,
Nobody
boom,
else is
you gon'
doing
die
things
rich.
like
Ones are putting
him.
me number 1 on their top 5 list. Ain't no
I
love
feel
for
like
you
I'm
if
with
you
him
hating on my
every day.
shit. You gon' get washed the fuck up
Even
and
though
dry
we're
quick.
not
Used to
together
idolize it,
physically,
now they despise
you
it.
know,
If you keep looking for smoke, you gon'
look,
find
every
it.
time
I
I
made my
jump
city
in
my
that chat,
bitch. I made y'all wanna go back in the booth and re-record and
shout out
rewrite
every
shit. Just
time.
you hearing my shit. Decades
Ladies
later, they
and
gon'
gentlemen,
rewind this
put
to
your
wonder what
hands
inspired this. The
together
angel on
for
my shoulder and the
Lord
baby on the way.
Sanctus.
That means today's price ain't the same as yesterday. That mean it's fuck y'all, pay me from here on out. Let you live in the
Appreciate you,
universe, say
man.
y'all loud and pray later. Play haters get that haymaker. CTC looking like the 2008 Lakers.
It's that chat. This that Kush GPT that you're listening to. This track is Crickets. Who's on here? D Banks. Who's on here?
D Banks, Shorty
Standing
Do
on
Wop,
that 10
Lil
toes down.
Sanctus.
Spinning your block, windows down.
I like the slower BPM, so when I heard this, I was like, yo, it's my favorite track.
Okay,
Then
that's
they
good to
get
know.
quiet,
That's good to know.
ain't no sound. All that tough talking online, nigga, who does that? Niggas say they poppin' with a buzz.
I got a lot of questions about y'all tough talkers online too, but
Homie, where
let's
cuz at? Swearing they outside, I
get
don't
into
see
this
them,
shit,
but they
man.
keep piping up in my DM.
Oh no, oh yeah, it's about to be one of those type of episodes. So you've been in this game for a long time. I'm gonna ask a lot of questions that I know the answers to, but these questions are for the ones that don't know you.
For sure.
We got Slow in the building.
Yes, sir.
What does Slow stand for?
San Luis Obispo.
It's not a far. It's not a far. It's not a close drive. So again, I appreciate you for doing this with me.
Oh, of course. It's not that bad of a, it's a beautiful drive. If you haven't done it, I suggest you try it.
I did it once. It was, that shit felt like Vegas. It was like 2 hours away from here, 3 hours away from here.
It's it's about 2 hours, but you get to see the ocean the whole time. It's a vibe.
Yeah, I can live with that. But I can't be multitasking when I'm driving. I can't. I don't have the visual capacity to be texting. I don't know how. Yeah, I'm not. I'm straight.
So the drive is a little more boring for you then.
Oh yeah, big time. I'm just looking at the road.
That makes sense then.
So you've been in this game for a while, man. How did CTC come about?
Man. So in 2016, around 2016, one of my major record deals expired in 2015, and in 2016 I started coming back to the coast. I was living in Hollywood and LA at the time, and I had, because I was like touring, because I was getting record deals and shit, I had an arrogance that expected people in the 805 to like bow down to me a little bit, right? And so when I came home in the rap community, not just everybody in general, but like in the rap community, in the music community.
Mm-hmm.
But when I came home, nobody cared. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, it's weird.
Nobody cared. I couldn't get into some of the bars I wanted to get into, and I was super frustrated. So I was kind of like, fuck this place. And actually, this was way before. This was like 2012, around then. I was like, fuck this place. And I never really came home that much. Fast forward to 2016, after my deal expired, I started seeing more rappers come out of the 805. I started paying attention, and everybody was obsessed with moving to LA at the time. And I was just like, yo, y'all don't need to move to LA. I moved to LA because YouTube didn't exist at the time. There was no World Star. There was no YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, I had to move to LA.
You gotta go to one of those major hubs.
But y'all don't have to move here. If you come here, in fact, you're going to lose the thing that makes you special, because there's already tons of rappers that are better than you here. You know what I'm saying? And like, they have connections, and you guys can't come into the club and just get your music played. You have to start from the bottom. Whereas if you stay on the coast, you could walk right up to a DJ and say, hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm so-and-so, check out my music. You can do this, you can do that. And nobody was listening to me. Like, everybody was like, whatever, bro. Like, I'm going to be in LA. LA is the thing. And everybody started moving to LA, like from San Luis Obispo. All the rappers started moving to LA. And I had been in LA at the time for like 15 years at that point. And so fast forward to 2018, I'm like over LA. Shit's going bad for me in LA. I'm not even going to lie. Like I'm not in trouble or anything like that, but like there's just no work. Like there's no musical work. It's drying up. So, and plus my dad was really sick. So I moved back home. I moved back to the 805. And my first thought was, I've been telling everybody what to do for the last like 4 or 5 years. I'm going to just come home and do it. And I'm going to show them, and I'm not going to erase nothing from my page. I'm going to keep every post up so everybody, you can go back to the very beginning, or as far as Instagram will let you go, because I think they erase posts over time. But as far as Instagram will let you go back, you can see the progression of Connect the Coast, and then when CTC Radio came in, and then, you know, you could check.
There we go.
Yeah, and then when CTC Radio, do you mind if I hold it actually?
Not at all.
Yeah,
Not at all. Do what makes you comfortable.
Me and mic stands never really get along. I don't know why, but yeah. So you can see the whole progression of CTC Radio through social media from the beginning, because I wanted to show people how it could be done. And hopefully small towns all over America do this shit, you know what I'm saying? Because I think that we've heard all the big city stories. We've heard all of them, you know what I'm saying? We've heard all the Compton stories. We've heard all the, you know what I'm saying, San Diego and San Francisco stories. It's time for the small town to tell their stories, you know what I'm saying? And I recognized that pretty early, started building Connect the Coast pretty early. And once I started building it, I realized like my main goal is just to build the 805 as a market where creatives can have a middle class life only doing creative shit. So you don't have to podcast and have a job. You can just podcast. And let's say we get 50,000 people on the coast to tune into your podcast every month, and 5,000 of those people pay you $50 a month to subscribe. And you can make, you know, $150 a year and support your family and not have to do anything else besides just doing what you want to do, or stand up or whatever, but you don't have to leave the coast, right? So I want to create a market for creatives in the 805. And the first part of that is creating the culture. And so Connect the Coast is the vehicle to create that culture that brings community together, which will hopefully start a market.
If you want something done, you got to get it done yourself.
That part.
And you've been getting it done every day. Just about every day, I'm watching, even if it's up by 2 or 3 people, watching the stream and watching it grow. It's for me, it's humbling, because it's like people are finally starting to understand that, yes, this is a real thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because there's 12 of us in here, or you still doing a little podcast, or you still watching that little shit on Instagram, Connect the Coast, like, who is it little to? Because it's not little to us.
I think I think that's such a great lesson in patience, right? Like, and long-term thinking, because so many people will just look at the present and say, in the immediate, in the moment, there's only 10 people in the chat, or 5 people in the chat, but the shows stay up on YouTube forever. You know what I'm saying? So people are going back to them. I make shorts out of them that are getting thousands of views sometimes. So whatever you see in the moment doesn't paint the whole picture. You know what I'm saying? There's so many. I think that's a big issue with creatives on the coast, is everybody wants instant gratification, instant virality. And a lot of people aren't even prepared to leverage that success, even if they were to get it. So I think, I hope people see Connect the Coast as a lesson in long-term thinking.
It's what I like about it too, a lot. What I like a lot about it is it's something that the watchers can be a part of. And you said it. You said this is probably the only station where you can listen to an artist and speak to that artist at the same time, in the same moment. And not too many, because I was trying to think of who else does it. Nobody else does it like that. Nobody else does it like that.
I mean, if we're being real, like, I didn't reinvent the wheel. Like, radio does that, right? Like, or they used to do it a lot. Like, a famous artist would come up to the station. You could call into the station and ask a question. Like, that's radio. But I'm just using the tools of today to make it better. Like, radio hasn't been innovated on in over 50 years. Like, it's been the exact, I'd say even satellite radio was the last innovation on radio, and the only thing they changed is that stations are national, which is not necessarily good, and you can cuss on satellite radio. And that's pretty much the only difference. Like, and now the only radio stations that matter are radio stations that have a visual element, like a YouTube channel, like Breakfast Club or Hot 97. You know what I'm saying? So radio needed to be innovated on, and I think making it interactive was the natural next step. Is talking, not having callers call in. They're there the whole show, and you're talking to them the whole show, and they're a part of the show. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's what makes radio great, is when callers call in and it really makes you feel like, oh shit, that was Jamie from down the street. She was talking to fucking Too Short. Like, I heard that. That was, you know what I'm saying? That's what makes it dope. And so I'm trying to bring that back.
You're doing it. You're doing it. It's like, I'm going to be all over the place because you've dealt with like big time celebrities. You've done music with these people. You've been in certain rooms, you know what I mean, just having deals. And how do you fucking juggle all that shit, man? Especially like with all the knowledge that you have. It's pretty impressive.
Thank you. It honestly feels like it's what I'm meant to do. It's like, it's definitely my calling. Like, connecting dots is really instinctual. It's instinctive to me to do that. Like, oh, you do this, you two should know each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I've always kind of been. But I've never had a goal to build towards, using that skill to build towards. And so it's been really cool to have, a goal that I know I might never see the 805 become a market, but I hope that people recognize that I intentionally like planted the seed to, 100 years in the future, 30 years in the future, 80 years in the future, where there is a superstar that came from out of here that could directly be attributed to like this market. Like, they came to your podcast, they watched CTC Radio, I played their music, they went to 203 Studios to record their music. Like, there's gonna be somebody who comes from this community that pops off, and I think that's gonna be a super dope story to tell.
I'm with that. The music, your music specifically, there was a start. I want to take it a little past the start. When did you find out that that you were nice at what you do? And before you answer that, I'm gonna go ahead and move that shit up.
All good. I remember the moment that happened.
Oh shit! All right.
Yeah, it kind of happened a couple times, but the real moment was when I moved to LA. So the night I moved to LA, I got a job at a cell phone store, and I didn't move until I had the job. So I moved to LA like the day before my first day of work. And my first day in LA, I went to work. I came home, and I was listening to Power 106.
Yep.
And I heard Felly Fell say, "Yo, if you think you could rap, call into the station right now."
The Freestyle Friday or something?
The woe call. The
Yeah,
woe call.
yeah.
Call into the woe call. And we got you. You know what I'm saying? And so I was on my cell phone blowing the station up, because I only moved to LA to like get into music. So it's day one. I hit the ground running. I call into the station. I get on. I start spitting, and I body, like, I think that night it was just one rapper. I just body one. I called on a Monday, and you have to call. If you win the battle, you call in every night. And if you make it to Friday, you get to go up to the radio station to rap. So the first day I moved to LA, I called in. They had to kick me off the thing after 6 months. I never lost after 6 months.
What?
And I think I'm one of the people that has the record for winning battles, to the point where like Sway and Tech would hear me in LA and like invite me to battles in LA.
That's
and
tight.
like shit like that. And like I was just going around the city cutting people's heads off. Like anybody who wanted it could get it. Like I was in battle mode, and that made like, but that night I realized, like, I forget what Felly Fell said. He said something, but it made me realize like, oh, like I could rap, because up to that point, I never really. I've been in some battles outside of the coast, but most of my battles were just in San Luis Obispo against like one guy, and so I never really knew where I stood. But that moment, being on like one of the biggest radio stations in the country, and to hear the DJ say like, "Oh shit, like you can rap," like
Yeah, that's
I was
hard.
like, okay, I got it.
That's tight. I like that. Like, that was always like just listening to it on the way home from school. I always wanted to do it. So I'd be like 7, 8, 9 years old, just trying to cook up some rhymes. Like, I'm gonna be on the radio station on Friday. And you might have been one of the dudes that I heard.
Yo, you want to know what's fucking crazy? So I've known Contra since like 2019 from Dark Room.
Dark Room, yeah.
And in like 2021, somebody called, because my rap name back then was KO the Legend. KO the Legend. Oh no, my rap name at that point was Kid Official. So when I was battling, it was Kid Official, but everyone would call me KO. And somebody called me Kid Official around Contra, and Contra was like, "Wait, like Kid Official from the Woe Call?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "That's you?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Bro, I've known you for years. I used to listen to you every freaking night."
That's
on the battles. So you was going crazy, bro. That's you? I was like, yeah. And just to know that, because I don't have any evidence that happened, right? I don't have no recordings of it. I don't have none of that stuff. So for somebody who I respect as an MC to hear that name that I hadn't heard in years and be like, yo, that's that's you.
That's wild.
That's crazy. So like Contra is one of the witnesses that knows like what was going down at the time. Like I was eating niggas alive.
That's fucking crazy. How did that shit make you feel?
It's another form of validation because he can really rap. You know what I'm saying? He's
nice.
A monster. And like when it comes to the freestyle shit, like I don't even freestyle no more because it doesn't bring me joy. But he's a beast at that shit. Like so to have his respect, it feels good. It means a lot. And to know that he's a local. Like I mean, it's just so much talent around here, and I think it also validates that part. Like I do this because there is so much talent that gets overlooked out here, and there's just like it's dope to have a mutual respect.
I want to take it back to the LA scene just a little bit. Being in both scenes, which one is it easier for you to move around in, if that makes sense?
If you're talking about like to make moves,
right?
Definitely LA because there's just more people. So especially in today's era where like you can just go in a crowded place, take a picture and a video and make it look lit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there's way more opportunities to do that in LA than there is on the coast. But that's changing. That's definitely changing. But it's easier to move around in LA. But at the same time, like everybody's doing that. So there's so much more noise. It's a lot harder to cut through. And everyone has their own agenda, right? So you're only as valuable as long as you're useful. If you're not useful, then you're not valuable, and you can't make any moves. You know what I'm saying? So, in that sense, I think it's easier to build value here. You know what I'm saying? You could still drop an album on the coast, do 25 podcast interviews, make it look like you know, really moving around, which you are, and build that value, build your EPK, and then take that to LA and be like, yo, I'm media trained. I've done 50 shows, and I think that's what people are overlooking, and that's the value of the coast that people overlook, I think.
I'm not gonna lie, I put some shit like that. Like, it looks good out here. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Like, we can move around out here, and it can look good to somebody that's not from here. Like,
but the only reason it looks good is because it is good. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't fake that. Like,
true.
Because when it would have crumbled a long time ago if it only looked good and there was no substance behind it. But when people get out here and then they start meeting people in real life and like, oh, that nigga really do be dressing like that. Oh, that nigga really is funny like that. Like, oh, okay, that's when they go home and they're like, yo, I was just out on the coast. Like, you gotta come out here. You know what I'm saying?
Keep trying to tell y'all, it was always a real thing. It's just getting really big now. It's getting bigger than what it was. You know what I'm saying? Like, having things to do out here, that's the look. Like, oh, they were over here, they were over there, they're on Iceberg Lounge, they're on Ventura Tide Pod. They just performed at Casa Agria. It's like, wait, what is all this? We'll come over here and find out.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, man. I mean, people probably wouldn't know this, but like almost, there's not a, I don't even want to put a number on it, but there's so many people you interview who like I have deep history with. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, Chris the Thrillist.
Shout out to Chris.
Was probably the first rapper from this area that I met. Like before Uno, before everybody, Chris the Thrillist was one of the first people that I met. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen so many different evolutions of him
There we
And
go.
to see him now, it looks like he's really in his bag. You know what I'm saying? Like following his trajectory. Like that's been a dope journey to watch. Like, you know, I seen the ups, I seen the downs. I think same for you know, and like Big Ray the Don is in his camp.
Oh,
and,
he's cool. He
and
got a dope ass song.
Big Ray the Don comes. He's from where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? So he like I've seen his journey. So to see him link up with Chris the Thrillist is like, whoa, like there's no way Connect the Coast is not a part of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause when I first met Chris, most of the people he was kicking it with didn't know San Luis Obispo and Lompoc even was 805. So like to be able to take some of the credit for connecting those dots is, and then see how it all comes together is really, really dope.
That's something I take pride in, is getting people connected.
Yeah.
You know, I've always wanted to be like Big Boy, and I've always wanted to be the bridge between beef. I don't want to get into beef, but if I can help bring y'all together, then cool. Now, I'm still learning about who got issues with who. You know what I'm saying?
It's so funny for such a small area. It's a lot of issues, but none of it's like beef. Like it's not like I couldn't be in the same room with anybody. Like I just choose not to be. But like if I was, I would impress nobody. I would like to think they would impress me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but I don't think they would. It's not like I don't want to see nobody hurt. Nobody wants to see me hurt. I don't think. It's just you're not supposed to get along with everybody, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, all that matters is that like, you know, if there are people that don't like me, go like them. You know what I'm saying? But like somebody from the coast. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's all I care about. It don't have to be me.
The media days. How did you get involved with that?
It's funny actually. So shout out to Antweezy.
Yeah, my dog.
He actually hit me up. I think he hit me and Jay Riley up one day and said that the LA Leakers were having a freestyle thing that he was putting together, and did we want to come down and like perform and do a verse? And I had been seeing the 805 Leakers, not the LF, the 805 Leakers were having a thing, and I was like, yo, I've been seeing them on Instagram. I definitely want to come down and spit something. So we drive all the way down here, and when we get here, like Jay Riley took the day off work, I took the day off work. We could drive down here, and when we get here, Ant calls us and is like, yo, nobody's picking up. Nobody's answering the phone.
Oh, shit.
I think we're just going to have to reschedule for another day. And all of us were kind of like, nah, bro, like, we not rescheduling shit. I'm not doing nothing again. Like, yo, we drove all the way down here. And like, yeah.
It's like, yeah, I don't care if there's 2 people in the crowd or if there's 2,000 people in the crowd. I'm showing out.
Yeah.
The show must go on.
Yeah. And so, well, and to his credit, to be fair, he was still trying to make it happen. But the person he was trying to make it happen with, I don't really rock with. Speaking of small, but and we can get into this later. But if I don't rock with somebody, it's not because of me. It's never because of me. It's because they did some fuck shit. But I just didn't come down here for that. That's not what I was sold. So I didn't want to do that. So we go back home. I'm like getting ready to just be like, okay, cool. Like I'm not gonna do anything Rare Breed asked me to do. But somehow we start talking, and I'm like, yo, he's really dope, bro. Like he's hungry, he's sharp, like, and he's like, yo, I apologize for what happened. I'm gonna be in Grover Beach. Can we meet up? Can I get on your show and we do a podcast and we can talk? And he came through, and just our conversation was really dope. He told me about his goal with Media Day, and I was just like, yo, this is why I started Connect the Coast. You feel what I'm saying? So like to not rock with him would just be like shooting myself in the foot. You know what I'm saying? And like no one else is doing anything like this. He's really right that we do need to focus on the media. I can't do everything, you know, and I'm focused on the music, and somebody should be focused on the media. And so, yeah, he pitched it to me. I thought it was a great idea. And I just wanted to help however I could. And then that's when we started chopping up about the media day. And then he brought the media mixers to the table, and I thought that was a great idea. And I just like his hustle, bro. He's hungry. He makes shit happen. And for better or for worse, you know, I think you know, it doesn't always go the way you want it to go, but
Facts.
his heart is always in the right place. You know what I'm saying? And we need more people like him on the coast, I think.
What city is more popping on the coast? Would it be Oxnard or would it be Slow or Lompoc or?
I mean, it depends on how you define popping. Are we talking about biggest artists? Are we talking about funnest place to go? Are we talking about just the statistics, like the date, like the CTC data?
Let's say. Then that's an even better question than what I asked. Let's say biggest artists. Where do the biggest artists come from?
Oxnard. No, it's between Oxnard. I mean, if you count Anderson .Paak and Kyle, and it's Oxnard. Madlib.
Oh
it's
yeah,
Oxnard.
I'm strictly local.
But if we're talking like the people who haven't made
Then
it
we
yet,
can reach out and
it's
touch.
between Santa Barbara and Oxnard.
Oh, that's right.
Santa Barbara low key be having some of them ones. Like Lil Bams, he does numbers.
I just did a show with that fool.
Yeah, he does some numbers. I think, isn't Jamie from Santa Barbara? Or I think she's from Santa Barbara.
Probably.
Or she might be from Oxnard or Santa Barbara. Either way, it's
Hey, I
Oxnard or
hit
Santa
you up. You
Barbara.
gonna answer me? Hey, hit me back, yo.
You know,
Shoot, I see your numbers. But
she-
I got those numbers too.
she a superstar, you know, so.
Yeah, I've had a couple people ask me about her. Then now, as far as I come and as big as this has gotten, everybody just assumes that I'll be knowing the big people. I don't know Jamie, man. Don't ask me about her. Ask her about her. She still ain't even answered my DMs yet. I've been trying to get her over here.
I mean, she been moving around for a while, and I've only ever seen her in person. And I'll be up and down the coast. I've only ever seen her in person one time.
Gotta get her ass over here, man.
That would be a dope interview.
It'll happen. I just had Miss Nina Rose.
I saw that. I peeped
You know,
that. Yo, she's really smart.
She's so like soft spoken, and then when she gets in that booth, it's like, oh shit.
But she seems very like confident, like she knows what her goal is and like who she is. You know what I'm saying? I respect that.
Yeah, she got a dope team behind her.
Yeah, they're on point. They're definitely on point.
Back to the stream, Connect Coast Radio. Big Mike and Uno.
Yeah.
How did you like even know to put those two perspectives together? Because the three of y'all together it's very interesting. You get a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I mean, so I can't take credit for that. I maybe a year ago started just, you know, saying on the stream, like, yo, if you want to come on the stream, I'll send you the link. And Big Mike and Uno took me up on it, you know what I'm saying? And a couple other people took me up on it, but when Uno and Big Mike would be on separately, they would always get the biggest reaction. And then one night we were able to go on all together, and it got a good reaction. And so they came back the next night, and it got a good reaction. And they came back the next night, and then they were like, we just gonna keep coming back. And I was like, cool,
facts.
you know what I'm saying? And like the chat decided that. I didn't decide that. So and I think that's the dopest part about it. Like, this show is for the community. So y'all wanted Uno, y'all wanted Big Mike, that's what y'all got. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna keep building it like that. Like, the chat is gonna determine how this grows and where it goes.
What when it comes to judging and critiquing people's music, how do I say it? Like, were you guys ready for? Because there's always going to be that one that's like, oh, how you guys going to judge my shit? When do you guys even make music? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, I hope I get that question. You feel what I'm saying? Because, if you pay $5 for me to review your music and then that's your attitude, you're not gonna make it in music. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you want your music reviewed or do you not? Because because we make music, we're coming at it from a production standpoint and a branding standpoint, and we're trying to tell you how to make it better. It's not like let me make a viral moment where I'm shitting on someone's hopes and dreams. It's never coming from that arena. So people usually respond pretty positively, but if they don't, then I'm just like, you're not gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? Because if you can't handle our critique, wait till you get a hit and you do something silly and 50,000 people you don't know are leaving comments about how you're a clown. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna make it.
True. There's been I've seen some people try to start some shit in that chat.
Yeah.
I'll be right there just like shaking, like, oh, I'll be having to delete. I'll get it off and then I'll just delete it.
I think that's for the best though, because even those people, like, those are people who have done foul shit and they want to air their grievances on my platform, and I'm like, nah, like, go start your own platform. You could air out everything you want to air out on your own platform. Like, I'm not finna give you the space to do it.
Yeah, you making them famous.
Yeah, that's not happening.
This shit's dope. Like, I'm just glad to be a part of it. At the end of the day, I think even the haters, they just want something to be a part of.
100%.
You think you bringing us down, but you just giving us the attention. You just giving us attention. It might not be the attention that we want, but I bet you're going to go tell your homeboy, like, yeah, I checked that fool online.
And they go watch it.
Go to this stream.
Yeah.
Go watch. Go log in right now and watch me talk shit to this fool. Thank you.
Yeah.
We just went from 12 people to 1,200 people because people like to see a car accident.
That part. I'm really never concerned about, like, my content isn't for people who don't like me. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm never concerned about that. Like, if you don't like me, you don't want to support me, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not for you then, and I will focus on someone who it is for. And that's just how I see about it. Like, if you going to spend your time talking about me to everybody you meet, that's only making my legend bigger. Because when they meet me, everything you said is going to be disproven. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't treat people badly. I don't do that.
I ain't gonna lie, I hate when that shit happen. I got the homie in my ear like, hey man, we're gonna go to this function, but this nigga's over here and I don't fuck with this nigga, so you know what I'm saying, just letting you know. And then you meet the dude that they don't fuck with and it's like, damn, this motherfucker cool as hell.
Yeah.
What you want me to do?
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm never worried about it, because I mean, the way I move is like, in my mind, everybody is guilty until they prove that they're innocent to me. You know what I'm saying? So that way, if you disappoint me, I'm in my mind, I'm like, you already was whatever. You know what I'm saying? But then if you prove yourself to me that, like, I can trust you and you're dope, then we're locked in. And I move the same way though. Like, I'm gonna prove to you that I'm about what I say I'm about, and it's up to me to make you trust me. It's not up to you to just give me your trust for no reason. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I move.
Demonstrations speak louder than conversations.
That part.
What did we do? We had a meeting, right? I want to say we had a meetup before the first media day in Isla Vista. Mm-hmm. That was spatial. You have property in the metaverse?
Yeah. So I built a venue in the metaverse. I have a couple convention centers and mansions, and I've had them for years. I really built them so during a time when during COVID, you know what I'm saying, when I noticed, like, oh shit, like, we can't do live shows. You feel what I'm saying? So I didn't want shit to stop, so I built a virtual venue where people could sell tickets and throw virtual shows and have listening parties and things like that. You know, I just didn't think not having access to a venue should stop us from being able to do things like that. And so that's what I built it for. but I think it was just a little too ahead of its time. You know what I'm saying? So no one really took advantage of it. And now I'm in the process of using it for Cushbot experience. You know what I'm saying? So we'll still be able to have meetings in there and do all the things, but also now, you know, Cushbots will have their own skins and things like that in there, which is cool.
See, that's something else. That's a whole another thing you are into. Got merch. He got metaverse properties. Got catalogs. Speaking of merch, you see it.
That part.
Go get you some.
Yes, sir.
But you got your own flower.
Yeah.
You got your own flower.
That part.
It is in the container upstairs, and it is loud. It's very loud.
Kush
So contain it.
GPT is very loud. It's boisterous.
So, just another idea that you brought into real life.
Yeah.
As far as the flower aspect, smoking, that's a whole culture in itself. What got you into that culture?
How did I get it?
Or should I say,
mean,
was it Bone Thugs or Cypress Hill?
Nah. Honestly, like I didn't start smoking until I was 25. So I started really, really late. I think I was always around it. I always loved how it smelled, but I just didn't smoke. Like I just
Same.
You know. I think at the time, like I heard so many people using it as a creative crutch, and I never wanted to be accused of that. And so I felt like I needed to prove my skill level before I did anything like that. You know what I'm saying? And I think once I got to a point where people knew what I was about, then I felt comfortable smoking, and it really changed me as a person. Before I smoked weed, I don't think I had any empathy really at all. Like I was nice, but I didn't feel bad for people. I couldn't put myself in other people's shoes. I was upset all the fucking time. Like all the time. Could not let anything go. Just really mad all the fucking time. Always in other people's business. Very judgmental. And weed changed that for me. Like weed made me, it really expanded my mind, like fully. And then I think mushrooms took me
even further.
Yeah.
Yep.
And really, like, I didn't become Lord Sanctus until I took mushrooms, you know what I'm saying? And weed put me on the path. And I'm just very appreciative of a plant like that. And it makes sense to me why people don't want you to smoke weed, because then you start questioning authority.
It's
you know
crazy.
So,
I think it was the beginning of Pineapple Express.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that opened my eyes right there. Like, wait, that's why this shit is illegal? Because boom.
Yeah.
For me, like, so that's what bud does for me. That's what edibles do for me. They let me know that it's like, as far as the creative part of anything, whatever you're thinking about, it can get that much bigger.
Yeah.
And then what shrooms does for me is that's more of like a spiritual thing. Like for me, that's more of me connecting with nature more.
Mm-hmm.
And like with weed, it opens up my creativity. Like as far as you know what I'm saying? Like I'm thinking like this, weed is just gonna amplify it.
Right.
But when it comes to spirit, like nature and how do you say it? Spirituality,
Mm-hmm.
mushrooms is that amplifier for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I think for me, all of it does the same thing, and it makes me feel more connected to the collective. You know what I'm saying? And like, it's easier for me to forgive people or ask for forgiveness and admit when I'm wrong and things like that. And I think those things are important.
What had you so upset about You know, just or what? Why the lack of empathy?
I think it's conditioning, man. I think it's definitely conditioning. I was raised super Christian, and I think the immature mind interprets the Bible and religion
Would you say like more literally or figuratively?
I think literally, right? So there was the side of me that was like that believed I was gonna go to hell if I sinned. So I was in constant fear, and I would try to project that fear onto other people. So that would make me mean, you know what I'm saying? And then when people didn't want to do what I thought they should do, then you know, I didn't care about what
Right.
you knew, what they had going on. You feel what I'm saying? I also think that power corrupts, and if you think you have power, and if you're not mature enough to wield it correctly, then you become antagonistic, right? And so if I think I have a moral authority over somebody, then I'm gonna try to like make them feel lesser than, right? So like if you're, I think a big thing we changed is my relationship with women, right? Like growing up in the church, my church specifically harped a lot on like don't have sex before marriage, and if she has a kid, then and she's not married, then X, Y, and Z. You feel what I'm saying? And like I bought into all that, so I would treat if I knew anything about a woman's sex life, I probably treated her pretty badly. You feel what I'm saying? And God gives me the right to judge you.
Right,
You know
right,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't care how it affects you. Like, I'm within my godly given right
Yep.
to do that. And like, that was hard conditioning to break. And
Being stuck in ways.
yeah, and especially coming to terms with like looking back at certain people and be like, yo, I cannot believe I treated you like that. Like, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Facts.
but yeah, it was conditioning. It was conditioning.
My oldest stepson is exactly what you described. So now I know what needs to be done. Yeah, he needs to smoke.
Yeah.
He
If he
needs to
doesn't smoke, he might need to for
He
sure.
needs to smoke. He's about to be 18. He needs to smoke.
But that's the craziest thing, because like that, like I'm assuming he's an Andrew Tate fan, right? Like a Jake Paul fan.
Something like that. I could see it.
Yeah, like I mean, I don't even know. The propaganda is so strong for that age group that I don't even know that. Like, I hope smoking helps, but I'm really worried about people who are deep in like that with opinions that strong when you haven't even interacted with enough women to have those opinions. You haven't even interacted with women. You've only interacted with little girls. You know what I'm saying? So like
Yeah.
to have that such a strong opinion is crazy, and it's dangerous.
It really is, because I'll be trying to teach him I'll teach him other ways. There's more than just your way of thinking. You know, like, I get it. You're the holiest man in the house. You're waking up to gospel rap and you're going to rest with gospel rap. We get it. But you don't know everybody else's situation. You don't know anybody's story. So who are you to be judging them off of things that you don't even know? Or you judge them off of things that you see.
Yeah.
And that's not always correct. Things are not always so black and white. But
They rarely are.
I got a gang of snacks in my room, and the kids like to go into the snacks. Let's just see if he gets into the wrong snack. And he'll just be stuck just thinking like, you know what?
I was tripping. I was
I
big
guess I
tripping.
really don't have to. I guess that's just their business. That's what I really want. Mind your damn business,
Yeah.
bruh. Mind your damn business. Who gave you your first puff?
Man.
I gotta guess.
Who would you say?
Oh nah, I was okay. So as much as I would want to say it was a girl, it probably wasn't because of a girl. I wish it was, because that's what I want from him. He's like, no girls, no nothing. Lord Jesus Christ.
That's what he and you. It may not be weed. He might need some pussy, bro. Like pussy changes that shit too.
You know what? All right, yeah, because I was gonna say that too. Shout out to one of my best friends, my boy Justin. Oh man, I remember exactly how he was before he got himself. Because after he got himself, I was like, that's my dog. That's the dog right there.
Yeah. So that could also
be wound up too tight.
That part. It was Balthazar Getty. He's an actor. I was in a group with him. And the record deal I was talking about that expired in 2015. I was in a group with him, and when I met him, my songwriting mentor, his name is TC. He's like one of the dopest songwriters, producers that like no one's ever heard of. But he's worked with like everybody, Madonna. Like he's dope.
Dang.
You know what I'm saying? His credits are deep. Like he's the guy. And he hit me up one day and he was like, "Yo, my guy, my homie Balt he likes to make beats and he's looking for a rapper. And I told him about you. Do you want to link up with him and go record with him?" I was like, "Fuck it, I'll go do it." And so I link up with Balt. I think I started smoking around that time. So I would just go to the studio every day. We would smoke. We would make beats, and he would make beats, and I would just rap. And it was just the dopest days, bro. Because like literally just in Hollywood, sunny, off Melrose, baddies everywhere. That was my day. Like I go to the studio in the day, smoke all day, go to the club at night, go to sleep, wake up, do it again. Like forever. And it was dope. I loved it. And then after like 3 years of doing that, I came home one night and I saw him on television, and I was like, the next day I came back, I was like, "Yo, are you famous?" Yeah. That's and but yeah, he was the first one that gave me a puff of weed.
I mean, shoot, I always said I was never gonna smoke. I probably hit my first blunt at like anywhere from 25 to 30 years old.
Okay.
Now, do I smoke? I don't. Will I pop an edible from time to time? Yeah, sure. But as far as the smoking part, I don't know. It's just not for me. I love how it makes me feel.
See, that's the part that I love. Like, honestly, I like getting high for sure. But if I could smoke, the only thing I'm comfortable smoking is weed, and I love the action of smoking. Like I really do like the action of smoking. But I just also I think that it's like I can never tell when I smell like weed. Like and I can't even tell. And so I'm trying to cut back, but it's hard. It's hard.
Nah, you can't cut back. You got your own strain.
That part. Well, I plan on cutting back after the strain. You know what I'm saying? But
are you gonna have any more like products? Because with weed, you can do it. We can do whatever. I've had fucking shrimp and rice.
Yeah, I want to do. I want to do some. If I did edibles, I'd want to do like a limited. You got to come to this dinner to get it. Like you not sell it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd want to make it an event. Pre-roll. I'm thinking about pre-roll packs. I think that could be cool. And then like more paraphernalia, like grinders, things like that. I don't want to get into the vapes because I just don't. I don't know.
Like the pens?
Yeah, I don't want to get into the pens like that.
Keep it OG. I'm not mad at that. Yeah. Keep it OG, man. Get the dime bag with an eighth in it.
That part.
Just kidding. Relax. Relax. I know it doesn't fit in the dime bag. But your packaging is dope. Who we got?
Is that Jenny?
Oh, we got 805 Entertainment in the building.
I didn't know she was waiting for us. I thought she had a key. I thought you had a key to get in here. I didn't know you were. That's so funny. My bad. How you doing?
We got 805 Entertainment in the house.
I appreciate it. What's up?
Yeah. Hey, real quick though, man. I am proud to announce that while he says what's up to Jenny, I'm proud to announce to y'all that I did so well at Levity Live that comedian Phil Medina, big deals around here. He got a residency at Levity Live. The first show will be on April 25th. He asked me to be a part of every show that he does as far as the residency. You know what I'm saying? We are going up. Big things are happening. Phil Medina, appreciate you, my guy. Let's make this thing happen.
That's why I put the mic down. I had to clap for that. That's big, man. Levity Live is a vibe.
Dude, it was crazy.
That's super dope.
Crazy.
You write all your own material?
Yes and no. I need to start writing. If I wrote, I would be probably 10 times more funnier. Why won't I write? I don't have a reason why. I need to stop bullshitting. I need to write. A lot of my jokes, a lot of my sets are just off the hip. And a lot of people can't believe that, because what happens with me is that I'll start right here and naturally, I don't know how, it'll just come back full circle, and then I have my callback, and then it just fucking works.
That's dope.
It's just something I don't think you could write.
I'm excited to see it on April 24th, man.
This shit was fucking fun.
I'm hype about it.
April 25th,
25th
is the first
my
one, and then every 6 weeks after that, we will be there. Phil Medina and friends, Corey and Chad, what's up? Those are my guys right there. And if I do well enough, which I know I will, you might see your boy go on tour for doing comedy. That we can toast to. Hold on. This is my favorite sound. Yeah. The image.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you, man. You're the only one with your image.
I appreciate that.
Oh, I needed that. You're the only one with your image. I'm glad you're the only one with your image. The birth of the image. When did you find out that this was your image?
The day I was born.
Talk that shit.
I mean, I've always dressed like this. I got suspended from high school for dressing like this.
That's wild.
They used to say I was a gang member. I was like, what other gangsters are dressing like this?
That's a good question.
But yeah, I've always dressed like this because I think fashion is like the ultimate expression of like who you are. And I wasn't allowed to dress how I truly wanted to. So when I got freedom as an adult, like finding who I am was like the most important thing. And this was it.
Originality. You know what I'm saying? Often duplicated but can't be replicated. I don't know how this shit goes. I don't know the damn sound.
It's often imitated, never duplicated.
There we go. See? I need people in the room that's smarter than me. 'Cause I am fucking.
Stop.
This is going to be a fun one to watch back. I ain't going to lie. This is going to
Hell
be a fun
yeah.
one. I don't think I've ever been this low energy.
But
Not energetic.
I think you have a good reason though, and it's for the best episode. That's the best episode for you to be zooted is on the Kush GPT episode. That's the best episode.
That shit. My lady loves it.
Dope.
So she's gonna wait, does she know? I think she knows you're here, and she might be. Did you get any?
You know, I got enough to roll one more. You feel something? We could puff it together.
Oh hey, I'll take it. I'm just not gonna tell her. I'm not gonna tell her.
For those that don't know, because I didn't even get to say, so Kush GPT. Last year we dropped our first strain of cannabis called Connect Kush. You know, music is always the focus at Connect the Coast. So basically, I wanted to incentivize people to listen to an album, and the only way you could listen to this album was by buying Connect Kush last year. And I had like 25 artists from all over the 805. and you know, OG David, from everybody, 7 Records, OG David James, Marquee, everybody. And it went super dope. We sold out. But this year, I didn't want to leave, you know, the non-smokers out because I know not everybody smokes. So I did a new strain, and I wanted to tell a story and connect it to, you know, I love comic books. I love Marvel, how they build the whole universe.
Yeah.
And I want to get into that. And so I wanted a way to do that that wasn't too far from what I do, which is music. So enter Kush GPT. GPT stands for Grind Pack Toke. It's our second strain of cannabis. It's an indica, 29% THC.
Gas.
$25 an eighth because we know niggas is broke. You feel what I'm saying? So we not trying to break your pockets. 25. You can get half an ounce for $50. You feel what I'm saying?
Facts.
So, and it's gas is gonna get you right. But on top of that, it comes with an album. Even if you don't smoke, you can go listen to this album by tapping the link in our Instagram bio. Has all of your favorite artists from the coast. We went down to LA and all met up to record this album, so it's a little more cohesive because everybody was in the same room. And you can't actually, I'm sorry, you can't listen to it for free anymore. It's $20 now. It was free for the first 2 weeks, but it's $20 now. The link in our bio, but it supports all the artists on the coast. The money goes to the artists on the coast, and when you pay $20, it unlocks the comic book that we have. It unlocks, Kush Bots. So think of the Kush Bots like they're similar to the Ninja Turtles in the sense that, you know, they live in the underground on the coast and they love 805 culture. So they watch the Real Quick Though podcast. Yeah. They watch CTC radio. Yeah. They have their favorite artists, and each issue of the Kush Bots comic features an artist from the 805, and it's telling a whole story and building a whole universe that's going to lead up to the game that I'm building right now, which is really dope.
Hey, so I heard on one of the episodes, who's getting a Kush Bot? How does one get a Kush Bot?
Well, you have to ask, and Jenny has asked.
Oh, her hand is up.
But it's not a quick process. So I am in the process of making you one and integrating you into the story.
Man, don't make her shit, man.
But
don't make her shit.
It's a process. It's a process, but it's a fun process. Damn it. But the comic books are really dope because certain panels unlock content, so you can scan QR codes within the story and listen to the song that the comic book is talking about, or unlock behind the scenes content, or watch a music video, or it's very interactive. So tap in. If you're in San Luis Obispo County, you can get yourself some Kush GPT, or if you're in Ventura County, you can make the short drive to Santa Barbara County. Order yourself some Kush GPT, get it delivered to you, and then drive back to Ventura County. But it's only in San Luis Obispo County, Santa Barbara County, and Kern. It's out in Bakersfield too. Get yourself some and let us know what you think.
That's how you do that. Well fucking spoken. See, that's how I need to do my sponsors, like that. Well, that shit gets long-winded when you do it all the time.
True.
Biggest person that you've ever got to work with?
Directly, Method Man. Indirectly, Pharrell or Denzel Washington.
Shit. Biggest person you've been in a room with?
Jay-Z.
Same.
Yeah.
If Dre calls you on the phone, right? If Dre calls you on the phone and he's, I want to do this with you. I want to do that with you. Let's make it happen. Kanye's calling on the other line. Are you staying on the phone or are you clicking over?
I'm staying on the phone. Even if I'm not on the phone with Dre, I'm not picking up the phone for Ye. I'm not picking up the phone for Ye, bro. I do not like that nigga at all, and
he would try to dress like you though.
I've never liked Ye, bro. Like, he has songs I like for sure, and I recognize his talent. I'm not saying he's trash. I just have never been a fan of his ever.
I love Kanye, man. I don't think he's as crazy as people say he is. I think something really happened to that man. There's some trauma right there.
Definitely something changed within him for sure. But like for me, it's like I said, my dislike for him is not new. It's I think I'm gonna be real. I think a lot of it is like trauma. You know what I'm saying? From like trying to get on in the rap game and like seeing how hard it is as a nobody in the rap game to get on, and then see somebody who is on constantly complain about not being on enough.
Got it.
Was like
how can you get on more than
me
what
to
you're,
the
like?
It drove you are in the room with Jay-Z making a beat for his album, crying because you can't rap on the album. Now you rapping about the album, crying that you can't make the fashion for the album. Now you making the fashion, crying about that you can't be Walt Disney. It's like, bro, I can't even get in these rooms. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
That's facts.
It's like when people say they're canceled and they're talking about being canceled on a huge platform. Like, how are you canceled? You're on the Breakfast Club. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, you over here talking about Disney this and fucking, and It's like he reminds me of a lady. They reminds me of a woman. That's a very it's a female trait right there. There's this clip going around. It's going viral. Joe Budden podcast. They play a comedy bit, and what did he say? He was something along the lines of Adam and Eve, right? Mm-hmm. Adam goes, yeah, the Lord gave us everything we need, and if we think it, it'll automatically come to life, and we got it good, right? And then Eve goes, yeah, it's just not enough, is it? So the crowd starts laughing, right? And then Joe and Ish and everybody, the cast, they start laughing, except Melissa Ford. Mm-hmm. And everybody's like, what? What's up, Melissa? Like, what? It wasn't funny? And she was just like, I just thought there'd be more. And it was like, yo. Like,
the irony is crazy.
Exactly like that. Like that. Come on, Kanye. You don't want to be that.
It's funny. But I think you do. So I personally think, I mean, you that premise brings up, I'm going to just tell you what I think. I've said this on other podcasts, but I think the world is out of balance because we don't fundamentally, like we've structured society wrong, right? Like, to me, if you believe in God, if you believe in the Bible, if you believe in Adam and Eve, then you have to believe that God is a woman, to me. Because God says we're made in his image, mm-hmm. right? So if we're made in God's image, then the Bible says that Adam was the first human, and then Eve was taken from his rib and fastened and formed. That doesn't make no sense. That hasn't happened since that, right? That's never happened. No woman has been taken from a man's rib and created since God did that. That doesn't make no sense. But if we're made in God's image and God is a woman and Eve is the first human and then Adam is taken from her rib, that's just pregnancy. That makes sense. Then if you take it further and you say that the garden is actually her vagina and the snake is actually his penis, mm-hmm. and he was trying to get into the garden, he was trying to get the apple, you feel what I'm saying?
Crazy. Not crazy,
and God said don't, logical. And God said don't do that because you're related, right? He didn't say you're related, but he's just telling them don't do that. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
interesting.
But they do it anyways, and then they have violent kids, and Cain kills Abel because he's not all the way there. You feel what I'm saying? Like, then things start to make sense, right? And then you take that premise and you say, and you think about society, right? Like everything we as men do is to convince women. Everything straight men do is to convince women to be with them.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Cut our hair, get fly, smell good. It's to convince. So that's so much. We do so much. We spend so much resources to be close to women, yet we don't respect them at all. You know what I'm saying? And like, I think if the world worked as it should and we modeled it after the universe where God exists, if you believe in God, then women would probably be in charge. We could continue to do what we do, which is work to get their attention. But there would be a lot less pressure because that's just all we would do. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, like, they would be in charge. The baddest ones would be like, okay, cool. If you want to rock with me, I need X, Y, and Z. And niggas would go get X, Y, and Z to rock with shorty over there.
Plus a little extra.
You know what I'm saying? And everything would be cool. But I think that there's an imbalance because we constantly act as if women shouldn't be in power, even though most of us let women control our households, even though most of us adjust our entire life to make sure the women in our life are happy, because if they're not, then we're not.
Yeah, I don't agree with that shit all the way.
I don't agree that we should have to do that, but I think the reason we do end up doing that is because they're not happy because they're not in the position of power that they should be in. If they were, because it's crazy to say you take care of all this shit, you cook, you clean, you cook, you do everything, you take care of the kids, but I run this shit. Like, what? What? Make that make sense.
Facts. I like it. That's interesting. I'm gonna let it be known right shit now. I run all my shit. I run my shit. We got our roles. You know what I'm saying? We got our lanes. And her lane, she runs that. My lane, I run that. But overall, the last word is this man's right here. I will definitely take your word into consideration. But considering I'm the smartest motherfucker in my house, I am the bottom line. I am the say so.
But I think running shit doesn't mean that you don't. Like, running shit is, to me, the boss, the head of the household, delegates who's best at what. Maybe you are the best at creating the strategy for how we run for how we operate within the house. You know what I'm saying? But it might take someone else to see that. I mean, you see it already, right? And
yeah.
But
hey, what worked for me? Don't.
Yeah.
Look, it worked for me. It don't mean it's gonna work for you.
My point is that just because somebody is a leader, that doesn't mean that the other person is a servant. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and I think that should be true either way.
It's definitely a team. It's a team thing. It's definitely a team thing. Real leaders know when to fall back and shut the hell up.
That part.
The real ones do.
That part.
The real ones do, because the second that there's something that she knows how to do better than me, and we can both acknowledge that, it's a responsibility. You have to know when to fall back. You don't want to make yourself look stupid acting like you know how to do some shit and you fucking don't.
Yeah. So
a lot of y'all niggas don't even know how to cook rice.
That part.
I'm starting to come back to myself. I think it was Corona. Holla at your boy. What's good?
The Rona.
Yeah, I'm starting to come back to myself. Cause I ain't gonna lie, the first half of this pod,
you were slumped.
I was holding on for dear life, man.
You were slumped.
I was holding on for dear life, and you deserve way more than that.
Nah, I appreciate it. I'm gonna just tell everybody it was the Kush GPT. No disrespect to Stone Dar in the mix.
Man.
No disrespect to Stone Dar in the mix.
If you gonna tell everybody, I get it now, because there'll be times where I'm watching the stream and I'll be like, hey, my nigga's out of here right now.
Yeah.
And
You get it all on the stream. You get the good, bad, and the ugly. But I be having long days. Sometimes I can't fake it with y'all. Like, you know.
All I'm saying is that Kush GPT. Hey, go heal yourself. If you wound up too tight, go get you some of the Kush GPT.
That part.
You know what I'm saying? Just it'll slow you down. It'll mellow you out. It'll make you feel good, and it'll make you wish that you were eating these brownies right here in front of me.
I thought about it a couple times. I'm not gonna lie, but I want something savory, so I'm gonna go get something savory after this.
You want something savory?
Yeah.
We can make that happen. Shit. Now that I'm back to myself, got a whole bunch of more fucking questions.
Yes, sir.
But I think we're gonna cut this one. We're gonna cut it short in a little bit.
For sure.
Apple or Android?
Apple. Blue Bubble Mafia all day long.
For sure, I'll take it. As far as creative vices, which one loosens you up more? Is it the flower or is it the drink?
Probably the drink.
The drink?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the drink.
Yeah,
like
the drink. The flower, I don't really get creative on weed like that. Like, yeah, for me, it's more of a, it like just aligns me, you know what I'm saying? It centers me. The weed does. Like I said, it just makes me, I'm not angry anymore, but like, if that person ever tries to rear his head, like the weed will like push him back.
Got it. Yeah. I Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde.
That part.
Fuck, I just fucking forgot what I was about to say. It was a good one too. That shit always happens. That's how I know this is gonna be a dope. I don't edit shit out of here. I should, but I don't. I think it builds character. Yeah. The comic books. Okay, with the comic books and then the Kush bots. How the fuck do I ask this question? Because I'm trying to tie it in with like Marvel and the MCU and everything like that, Capcom and everything like that. What would you say your Kush bots is more similar to? Would it be Marvel? Would it be DC, Capcom?
Definitely Marvel. The direction I'm trying to take it. Like I want to. I like heavy Easter eggs. Spin-off characters. Spin-off comic book stories. I don't think I'm gonna get into multiverse, but definitely like some space shit. Like Kushbots are from space, so we'll definitely take it back out into space. Just not just world building, but like universe building.
Kushbots. I like that title.
Thank you.
I thought I was coming back to myself, but we started talking about Kush, and now I'm there all over again. That shit is loud. I can low-key still smell it.
Very loud.
All right, let me play some music because we getting to that time. We getting towards the end of the show, but
for sure.
Y'all better stay tuned because there's so much more. Let me see. Go back to the playlist. I know what I want to hear. I know what I want to hear. Boom. There we go. I like how every time I go into the link, I can unwrap the album. Kids don't know about that shit.
To perspecti.
Oh, is that the one that I want to hear?
You this, that. I'm so close.
This one. Yeah. Still waiting for that video to drop.
What is your mark?
It's almost ready.
Come on down.
It's cooking.
Hey, we are at the end of the episode. Tell them where and how they can find you.
Follow Connect the Coast on Instagram. Connect CONNECT the THE Coast COAST. Connect the Coast everywhere online. Make sure you follow, sub, like, subscribe, all that shit.
All that shit.
Get yourself some Kush GPT. It's available now for a limited time. Once it's gone, and it won't be back until next year. And then go buy the Kush GPT album. It's $20. But it's that expensive because every artist on the album gets paid every time someone buys it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not all going in Connect the Coast pocket. It's paying the artists that are on the songs on the album. And it unlocks a bunch of behind the scenes content and shit too. And I'm going to constantly be adding comic books that you'll get access to and shit like that. So check it out. And our website, become a member. Get yourself some merch. If you're a member, you get a discount on the merch. And you get exclusive content. You get added to our close friends list on Instagram and a whole bunch of other shit. So CONNXCT.club is the website to become a member. Go check it out.
Hey man, if you want to see it real quick though, Kushbot, just let them know. Let them know.
How you know we don't got one coming? How you know?
Yo, this has been another beautiful edition of the Real Quick Though podcast. One of the sponsors of the show came, he showed out, he popped out, he held it down for me because I was shit. But Yakwa's over here, you know how I get down. No sunsets over here, we always shining. And you can't fall if you don't trip.
That part.
Yeah,
Queen.
You know a real motherfucker when you see one. This shit knock, make your ass do the rerun. Hey, do the rerun. Hey, do the rerun. Hey, do the rerun. Hey, do the rerun. 5 o'clock.